Hi, and welcome to Inside the Sound Chamber. My name is Don Simmons. Got a wonderful guest who's doing some really wonderful things. Her name is Siubhan Clark. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Siobhan has a BA in sports medicine and an MS in exercise science from the University of Connecticut. Siobhan has worked with college athletes at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, providing emergency care and rehabilitation. Upon completion of her master's degree, she became a program director for Corporate Fitness Center in Boston, managing fitness instructors and exercise physiologists and providing health education programs within the facility and for many of their corporate partners in the Boston area. Siobhan also worked for private insurance companies in Boston, providing healthcare screenings, lectures, health education workshops around the greater Boston area. Siobhan is also a master level Reiki practitioner and as a creative director of Zen Rinka. She works primarily with competitive Irish dancers using a combination of meditation and Reiki to reduce anxiety and improve performance. Siobhan is a 500-hour ERYT instructor with Yoga Alliance and a 300-hour certification specialty in Yin Yoga from the Summer School of Yin. Siobhan's classes are focused on traditional Yin Yoga format with an emphasis on traditional Chinese medicine. Classes are organized around the 5-element theory of TCM, and poses for each class are chosen with the intention of creating balance and harmony within the body and with nature. As a mindfulness meditation teacher and Reiki master, Siobhan also weaves meditation and energetic themes into her class for an overall sense of balance and calm. Siobhan is also an advanced sound healing therapist and facilitates sound baths and sound healing one-on-one and for groups in the Philadelphia main line. So excited to have you here. You've done a lot.
Thank you, Don. I was thinking, I was like, wow, there's a lifetime worth of work right there.
Right? Exactly. I want to take something from you. I don't care what it is. You've done so much. So I want to thank you for being here for this interview, but also we've got the ISTA conference coming up, and you're going to be a part of that. I'm so excited. I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. But you, in our earlier conversation, you weave the yoga with Reiki and with sound therapy. So
Yeah.
where's your creation story? What started it off for you? Now, I
Um,
got to say, you told me a little bit about your beginning with yoga, and I love that story.
all right. So I shall start there. You had asked me when I had started with yoga, and I said it's really a lifelong practice. I learned yoga from my grandmother. I was probably about 7 years old, and she had a book of Jack LaLanne exercises, and she had bands and little tiny pink weights, and she would do all these exercises, and then she would say, "Now we're going to do yoga." And she would open this other book and it had all kinds of yoga poses, and but it was mostly just stretches and forward folds and a little bit of balance and things like that. So yeah, yoga's been a part of my life for a really long time. Not going to age myself.
That's okay. You don't have
Not
to.
going to tell you how long. Yeah, so it's in and out. It wasn't like it's been a daily practice for my whole life. I would say probably since 2010 is when it became a daily practice, and led to me getting certified as a yoga teacher in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved into Reiki. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was that
So and
story?
and that was kind of born out of my daughter, who was a competitive Irish dancer, and she struggled with anxiety terribly, to the point where she did quit Irish dancing and quit something that she absolutely loved because
Mm.
the anxiety was so bad. So I had taken her to my meditation teacher, who was also a Reiki practitioner. And when she decided to go back to dance and started competing again, I said, look, we really need to figure this out. And the Reiki was helping. And I said, okay, maybe I need to go and figure out how to do this so that when we're traveling all around and you're at dance competitions, I can do this for you, and really didn't understand, what it
Mhm.
was or how it worked, and just said, okay, let's figure this out. And that's where, so it was 2015, I started practicing Reiki on her. And then another dancer's mom said, hey, you're doing this thing with your daughter, can you do it with my daughter? And that's really how it
Right.
evolved, and how my Zen Rinka, business started, with working with dancers, in a more cohesive manner. I have an app with my meditations and mindfulness techniques. And it was through doing the Reiki that I happened to come across, I think it was on Amazon, this crystal bowl set, and it was the Chakra crystal bowl set. I was like, wow, what is this about? And if each chakra has a particular frequency, and these bowls were tuned to each chakra's frequency, wouldn't this make my Reiki practice better in some way,
Right.
clearing the chakras better, or having it really seal in the healing well? And so that's where I got the singing bowls, and it was great. And the dancers loved having that as part of the Reiki session. And then I decided to bring it into my yoga classes. So I was teaching a Sunday evening yin class, which Sunday is the best day to do yin. It's the most yin day of the week. The evening is the most yin time of day. So energetically, this was a really great class. And we always had 15, 20 minutes at the end of class for meditation. And I started bringing the bowls in. And I noticed this profound difference in people, that you've just done this, clearing, very energetic meditation practice with, yin postures. And when I say energetic, I don't mean it was rigorous. It's energetic in the sense that you're moving chi, that you're moving energy
Right.
with the poses. And then you added in these crystal bowls, and it was incredible. Yeah, so that was
I love
my
that.
my origin story of everything.
I love that, and I think that many of us, there is that origin story that it just comes about organically. I
Mm,
don't think anybody thinks, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Well, let's see, what are the things let's do sound therapy. I think it has to come organically. You got to love it.
yeah.
And you studied in Ireland, right? You studied sound therapy in Ireland?
Yes, I did. So in taking my yin program, it was a 300-hour set up in like weekend 50-hour, workshops. And why I chose the school that I did is he would have classes in Ireland. So in meeting other yogis in Ireland, I came across Carmel Divini and her Celtic School of Sound Healing. And I said, oh, someday I'm going to do that, but how every weekend are you going to go to Ireland? Like, you can never do that. And one of the very nice benefits, there wasn't many benefits of COVID, but this was one of them, that her program went virtual.
Got it.
So I
Right.
was able to take, her classes once a month, for 18 months,
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
virtually. I did go for 3 of those sessions. So I just, and it was so great to do it more hands-on. And
Yeah.
when she started doing them back in person, she would go to the Hill of Tara. And in Celtic legend and lore, the Hill of Tara is a sacred and highly energetic site. So the opportunity to do drumming for a whole weekend, or work on our gongs for a whole weekend on the Hill of Tara, was just really exceptional. Yeah, it was an amazing
What
opportunity.
a wonderful experience. And also, you're bringing that energetically to everybody you work with. I do believe that, our creation story travels with us, and everything that you learn travels with you. And that's why I believe one of the things about International Sound Therapy Association is being that landing place for people to get real solid training of
Mm,
sound therapy. And because it will go with you. If you pick up bad habits, they're going to follow. If you're doing good work, it will follow you. And that's what I think ISTA really stands apart being able to look at who's doing the good work. And obviously and you're bringing really ancientness into the world of sound. So what will it, you are giving a presentation Saturday morning, 8:30 to 9:30. That's on the September the 20th,
Mhm.
21st rather. And what is it that you're going to be doing?
So in the class, I'll do kind of simultaneously yin postures with instruments, vibrational instruments. Generally, when I run these classes, I'll quietly instruct through a pose, get everybody into a pose, and then move around the room with vibrational instruments. And what I love about having that element of being in a pose, holding a pose for a while, is that the students' bodies are open to me in a very different way than if we were just all lying flat on a mat or sitting in a chair. So when I have somebody in a forward fold and I can drum or hold a bowl up and down their back, I just have different access, to their bodies, to their energy centers, to their chakras. And if we're talking about yin, to their meridians, and to the points where energy flows, through the body. The nice thing about the yin poses, and I do really believe this, I deal with chakras, I deal with meridians. It's all just different ways of talking about the same thing,
Mhm.
right? We can talk about breath in five different ways. There's different names and different philosophies. So I feel like it's just another way for us to move energy throughout the body, to remove stagnation, to do clearing. So in Chinese medicine, we talk about stagnation and removing stagnation. And in Reiki, we talk about clearing and
Yeah.
healing. So it's really all the same thing. So what I'm really hoping for people to get out of it is to do that, to move the chi, to move the prana, to move the energy, and to receive a clearing and remove the stagnations as well in their bodies.
How does traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, and the five elements come into play with either what you're doing for that weekend or your normal practice?
Yeah, I really love the basis, and not a lot of, and you don't have to with yin. You don't have, you can just do yin poses and organize them in lots of different ways. I particularly like organizing them in that five element theory where we're working with the energy of the season, whatever it is that we're in.
Yeah.
And so we happen to be in earth right now. So, earth energy. So I'll be working in poses that ground us in the earth and use that deeply healing and grounding earth energy. I keep it simple because in using the instruments, I don't want to be very wordy and have a lot of explanation in the poses. So the poses will be very simple, but very, like I said, very earth focused. And just opening up those energies and the meridians of the stomach and spleen, which are the meridians of the earth element.
We definitely need a lot of grounding right now.
Mhm.
How long are we in the earth element? Is this just for this point in time of the year?
Yeah, so the earth element is that fifth, kind of extra season that we get in traditional Chinese
Mhm.
medicine where it's late summer. So
Okay.
we're in that until the the fall. Ooh, autumnal equinox. Actually, I'm not really sure when, if we'll be
Right.
in Earth by the time we have our class. I'll have to look at the calendar.
Okay.
We might be in metal. So metal is the fall element. It's liver gallbladder meridians. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be either earth or
Hmm.
metal. We're not
Yes,
sure.
I have to look at the calendar.
But that's the wonderful part about it. Show up to class
Yeah,
and then you'll know, right?
you'll get some stuff. Yeah, you'll get show up. You'll get some stuff.
I really love the way you are combining all of these things together, and yoga and sound are just a natural um, influence with each other, as well as Reiki. When you're working with energy, the idea of sound, I always just feel it's just sort of like a smooth road to take that energy into the body. And when you add the element of yoga with the tranquility of the body and the stretching, it only makes sense that the physical and the metaphysical is open for receiving that really wonderful, good stuff.
Mm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I asked you about the penny whistle, but you said you do not do that. But
Yeah.
maybe the bagpipes. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It would be a trick. I have really yet to figure out how it would work in a in a sound healing session. I think you'd have to be outside for sure.
I think so. I think you'd have to be outside. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. The drum that you bring or that you have, what kind of drum is that? You said you're going to
So
be using a drum?
yeah, I do just have, a regular buffalo drum.
Okay.
I did learn on a borin, which is the traditional Celtic drum.
Yeah.
It has a very different sound to it for sure. And I do find that the buffalo drum is a little bit deeper, and people respond to it really nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did when I did the drumming workshop, and we did that in Ireland on the Hill of Tara. I learned on the borin, which is the traditional Celtic drum.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell those who are listening about what's going to happen with your class or just anything with you?
Yeah, yeah, I hope that people aren't apprehensive if they're not a yogi practitioner, because I do definitely give the option that, this is the pose. I'm encouraging this pose. If you don't want to do this pose and you would just like to lay here and get the vibrational healing, then great. So it's definitely, not something that's just for people who have done yin or have done yoga before, or I'm not flexible, I don't want to do. Just bring some blankets, bring some pillows, bring your yoga mat, and together we'll find that opening and find a little more ease in the body for a really great weekend of workshops and classes and engagement with everybody.
Siobhan, that is just really wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be there for that class, but we're going to be recording and we'll record you and I'll be able to see it for sure afterwards. But this is just so exciting for you to be here, to be able to do that class with us. I really thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you. I'm so thrilled to be participating. Absolutely.
Thank you, Siobhan. We'll see you soon at the ISTA conference.
All right. Bye.